by Nikki. This is Nikki, and I am here today with a big chunky guy, but it's not a traditional journal, but it is a journal. And there is plenty of space to journal in here. But this is a design team project for Tracie Fox. And kind of the keeping with the last few journals that I've made, I was kind of working my way through some kits of Tracie's that I fell in love with, and this one is no different. I was the most excited to get to this one because this was my main inspiration. This journal is called Peculiar. We're going to call it Peculiar, and these are just some of the kits that I've used in here. Let's see, I've got Sometimes Peculiar Peeps, the mini ephemera mix, textured tags, rather random mix labels, and large entomology labels. And then I've got tons of little bits and pieces that I have kind of in my Tracie stash. So I've used some of those throughout as well. I tried all kinds of new fun, exciting things in this, which I really had a blast doing. And it has an alternative kind of binding method that I kind of just made up as I went, having seen other people do this kind of, made this kind of cover. It is full of non-traditional journal elements. It's kind of takes a lot of inspiration from lap books, and I have seen some people making some fantastic lap books lately that I've always wanted to try making one, and I still will make try my hand at making an actual lap book, but I made lap book inspired signatures in here, if that makes any sense. I am calling this journal Peculiar. This is the definition from an old dictionary here for peculiar. And then the covers are made out of some chipboard, so they're not flimsy, but they're not super hard either. And I layered it with old book pages, then I distressed it, then I put some crackle paste on, and I put some gesso, and I Mod Podged all of the, well, I painted a little bit, I washed it, and then I painted, and then I put vintage matte medium on here, and then I put my little pieces on and went vintage matte medium over the top of them as well, and I'm quite in love with the way that this turned out. And a bunch of little labels, and I just love these Peculiar Peeps, aren't they? So you either love them or you hate them probably, but I love them. And I apologize for the shabby background. This is my desk without my mats or anything on it because this guy is big and I couldn't even fit it on my regular filming desk without, having to pull back far enough, because this thing is like, let's see, just shy of 7 inches by about 12 inches, and it's about a 3-inch spine. So big, right? And in order to be able to get all of this in frame as I show it to you, I had to pull way far back up off my table. So let's get into it. Let's look at this. So that's the cover, and then the covers are attached to the spine with this I made holes and then sewed through, right? And so they're they're sewn together, and then I just did some creative stitching when I sewed my signatures in, and I will, which you kind of can see. The spine is also 2 layers of chipboard that I painted and gessoed and put crackle paste on and did all the things too, and then Mod Podged as well. And the back is just plain version of what the front was before I put the Peculiar Peeps on there. So these are some images from an Abraham Lincoln book that is from the 1890s. And then I love the way that this turned out. It's hard for you to see on camera totally, but the texture is awesome. And I love me some good texture. Then the closure is just some sari silk. It's doubled over like this, and I kind of like just tying the first 2 and leaving the ends to be the tails of the bow. But you do you when you get it. There are also some little charms hanging on the bottom here, which we'll get to when we get to those parts of the journal. So let's take a look. So this journal is kind of made up of, let's see, I guess technically it's 4 signatures, although one's kind of sewn inside of the other, and so they kind of make their own, so it's maybe more like 5 signatures. You'll see as we go. This first signature here is a lapbook inspired signature. So there are flips and flip outs and stuff all over. So you unwind here. And these were made from the last Foxy rag. Now Tracie just put one out yesterday, or today, actually, I think. It's Saturday when I'm filming this. So the new Foxy rag is out, and I have not even been into it for the digitals, but there were fantastic digitals in the last episode, that's not right, in the last edition. And I highly suggest, if you don't get the Foxy rag, if you like making journals or anything, that you grab it, even if it's just for all the wonderful digitals that you get in there, free digitals that come with the rag. But there's also great articles about other crafters and such. So this little tag there was from it, and then this piece was from the Foxy rag as well. Excuse me, I'm probably gonna sneeze. The allergies have been off the chain here. So here's a little tag that comes in here, and these are all pieces, bits and bobs from all of the kits that I've used. Here's some journaling space here. Then that opens up and it's an envelope, and inside here there's a little writing trifold, and this comes from another one of her kits, Impressions, I want to say, and it's the trifold tag base. And that goes inside this envelope. And then here, Eclectica, that was another one I didn't mention. This is a journal, a digital collaboration between Jessica Rapp and Tracie. And so I've used some of those pages and just folded them kind of wonky and put them in here. So here's a little hidden, you know, journaling space here. There are all kinds of wonderful places in this journal to journal, but it is not like, most of it is not your traditional journaling where you just, you know, page to page. It's kind of, like I said, a hybrid, right? So that opens up. And then these are the Big Tim Holtz has these new things out. I don't remember what they're called. Let me see. I think I've got it right over here. Backdrops. They're called backdrops. So that's kind of why this book takes the shape that it does, because I use those backdrops. Okay, so then this whole thing flips open, and we've got a couple of tuck spots here, and this journaling card pulls out, and there's room to journal on the back. And then these, anytime we see this kind of looking stuff, these are my originals of my jelly prints. If you're interested in those, you can get digital copies of several of my different paper packs of my jelly prints in the shop, in my shop, but their originals are in here. And then this is a long, tall pocket here with little space to journal. And that's in this 1952 book pocket here. Then here's one of those peculiar Peeps. And in this pocket, there is another place to journal. And this is from that Abraham Lincoln book from the 1890s. And that tucks in here. So that all closes, and then it opens up this way. And here is some more of the Eclectica papers. So those open up this way, and you can journal on them, and you can put pictures or ephemera or whatever you want on the fronts of those. And that whole piece flips open, and here's some more original jelly print. So you could journal on there, or you could art journal. It's nice and thick, and this is thick paper, so you could art journal or do multimedia on there if you wanted. Then over here we have a little pocket here, and these are all little bits and pieces from the Eclectica kits by Jessica Rapp and Tracie. You get half of it in Tracie's shop and half of it in Jessica Rapp's shop. And I will have Tracie's shop linked below. And I will also list as many of the main kits that I used as possible. Then behind here, there's another page from that book with some journaling space on the back. And that's in this vellum pocket, which is also on this bag. So in the bag, there is a weekly time record. And then this whole bag actually is a flip up. And behind it, there is some journaling space. So here are some pages that you can journal on. Some different types of writing paper. And then again, another part of that jelly print where you could do some multimedia work or whatever you wanted to. So then that whole thing flips shut. And on the back side, we have this little daybook page, and that flips open. And there's a big pocket here. And these are from a wildlife and fishery book from the early 1900s, I believe. And then a lot of these little cutouts like this came from Tracie's kits as well, and they're from several different ones. I couldn't tell you which ones are from which. Back here, this is one of the Eclectica pages making a big pocket. And then here's one of this is a common mackerel, and it's got plenty of space on the back. These are in that book that I have, and they're nice heavyweight paper. Then I've got a couple little pockets here that I collaged up, and these are more little bits and pieces from the Eclectica kit. So little pieces of ephemera, and then I made a couple little journaling tags. And then here are some more little bits and pieces in this side loading pocket here. So that is the first signature. Those are all the flips and flaps in that first signature. Next, we come to this chunk here. This is the last signature. And then we've got this. It consists of a policy envelope on both sides that opens up like an accordion envelope, and then kind of a signature, a more traditional signature in the middle. So we'll take it from the front here. These are made out of, again, my original jelly prints. So this has got a windy guy closure, and you open that up, and inside of it is a journal. So these are some journals with some of these cute, peculiar peeps in there. And this is just a journal that I've made using some of the bits and pieces of ephemera and sewn them on to make pockets, coffee stain paper. So there really is a lot of place for you here to journal. These are from the Foxy Rag again, and I zhuzhed them up. And those go in that pocket there, more space there, and another one on this side. Cute little file folders. This little half page here is from Eclectica. Then there's some more ephemera. These are from the large Entomology labels, which I love. These are some of the pages of Eclectica that I taped together to sew in. And another one of the adorable little peculiar peeps. So that is a journal that you can pull out, journal in, and put back. Like so. Then on the back side of it, we have another windy guy. And inside the windy guy on the back side is a little notepad that I've also made using some of the pages from Eclectica. And then that's some regular 12 by 12. Here's some painter's paper, whatchamacallit, masking paper, ledger, some grungy coffee stain, and some more scrapbook paper. And then behind that is another layer of my original jelly plate printing, which has such a great feel. And again, would be a place you could do some art journaling as well. So that that's just collaged up with bits and pieces from all the kits that I'm using. Oops. All right, and they have little Tim Holtz medallions on the end of the windy guys too. Then in the center of these two is an actual signature here, and then this will be the other policy envelope accordion folder thing. So here we've got another one of those peculiar peeps in the word journal, and a little clock here, and these hands actually move. You can make it whatever time you want it to be. And this is some wallpaper from my lovely friend Emily. Hello, Emily. If you are watching, she is the sweetest. And she's actually featured in the new edition of the Foxy Rag. So if you want to learn all about my darling friend Emily, you can go check that out and see her work. So, but she sent me some wallpaper. Then this is, again, some of my original jelly printing, and this was on masking paper, and I love the feeling it gives. What a fun thing to write on. Then this is some music paper, and I've just slightly embellished these pages with some little bits and bobs. This is some elementary writing paper, some old ledger. Here are a few little pieces. There are some really cool looking like vintage photos in the Eclectica kit. Here's some of my copy stained paper. This is the flap from an envelope back here. This is a really cool, they're like really thick pockets, and I got a bunch of these from my friends Stephanie and Jennifer when they gave me the last box. So, and here's another one of those cute tags. I do have another video coming up in the next few days where I am going through another box of garbage from them to see what kind of gems I can find. And I'll tell you what, spoiler alert, there was some really fun stuff in there. This is some of that Tim Holtz backgrounds. Then these we made on a video as well, and these images and things, frames, are from the Foxy Rag, and these tags are as well. So it flips open. There's a little pad of paper here that you can journal on, and then this photo card actually pulls out here, so you can journal on that as well, and then it goes back into the little window envelope, and you can journal on the back. Those were fun to make. And that all comes out of the last Foxy Rag. This is from Sometimes. And there's some really cute layering. It was a pain to fussy cut, but it was worth it because I love the way that it looks with the handle open and everything. And this piece of jelly print actually has some sheen to it. Can you see that? I used some pearlescent blues and greens on there. It was really pretty. And on the flip side, I was like, isn't this just a juxtaposition? This is like the cool colors, and then all of a sudden we come here to the warm colors. So another one of those Entomology labels. And then this is a big bag that has just a journaling card in there. And here is a pocket. I made these. This is also from the last Foxy Rag. Look at how much stuff, and so is this. And I zhuzhed these up and did some, embossing with my colored embossing powders on there. And so can you see that? Does it catch the light? Yeah, so it's shiny on selected images, and I went around the edges with some metallic paints. This is from Eclectica, so is this. Then we've got this giant map in the middle here of Minnesota. So there's Minnesota. I've been saving this page and I thought it was perfect here. So I'll just show you really quick. Here's where I live right there. Northern Minnesota, only that far from Canada. And, oh, I forgot to show you these two. So this one has a little postcard charm. And we also missed a keychain with a bunch of little keys on it and an airplane. Here's another one of those postcards that I made from the last Foxy Rag. And this is as well, impossible is just an opinion, it says. And then this is some ephemera from Eclectica. The other side of that bag has another journaling card folded over there. Then this comes with one of the kits. I couldn't tell you which one off the top of my head, but there's a couple of these photo strips which are really fun. Then we've got another little tag that I made from stuff from the last Foxy Rag. And it's got a pull-out tag here with the photo of this gentleman on. This background I love, and that is from the Foxy Rag. You can get that as well. And here I've just got a couple of vintage postcards, random ones thrown on there. This is a big giant envelope that I actually jelly printed. And inside of it is a little mini tear journal where I just literally tear the pages and sew them in. So another creative little space to keep some thoughts or memories inside this little journal, inside this big giant envelope. And again, because this is painted, jelly painted, it's got a great base. It's almost like it's been pre-gessoed or something. So if you wanted to do some drawing or some art journaling, you could do it on there. And we've just got some more different types of papers. This elementary writing paper I love. It's actually got little lines you can feel, you know, so they can learn to write. Music paper, another big piece of, I love this color. And then in the back we've got a little tiny pocket with this little picture of this lady inside a little B label. And that is the last piece. That's the other side of that wallpaper. So I am not sure what just happened there, but I think my camera shut off, but I know that I was right here. So anyway, these two folder or envelopes, they were sewn together, so you can kind of see it. I sewed them together with fabric, and this journal signature is sewn in between them. So this is where you get the kind of cool crisscrossy on the spine. So let's open up this one, and it again will have a notebook made from some of the Tim Holtz papers and some of the Eclectica papers as well. Again, another place to journal in here, and that's sewn across the top. And I love this jelly print. This is one of my favorites. This one is available in the Carnival pack. But again, another place for you to do some experimenting and playing around with multimedia or drawing or whatever have you. And this is decorated with little bits and pieces from the Peculiar Peeps and the Time Sometimes. And then this, here's the front side of that great jelly print. And we'll see the journal. There's another journal inside of this one. So here we've got another journal. The front's layered up with some fabric pieces and one of the large Entomology labels. And it's got some of the same type of things. There's some calligraphy practice paper in here and ephemera. This is a jelly print original. There's some little collages using some of the bits and pieces. Here are these giant tags you get with the, see, I'm always going to mix it up, so I'm not even going to bother trying to tell you. That's probably Eclectica, as are all of these little bits. Eclectica is a great kit. You get so many of these little pieces of ephemera that work to layer up, to stuff pockets. I mean, it's a super, all of them are. Here's, I love this guy from Peculiar Peeps. And he's got some fabric layered behind him. Here's another little, tiny little tag pocket up here. These pieces are from Eclectica. Then we just have some masking paper that I sewed around a whole bunch of times. Some lace stained paper. Here's another teeny weeny tag that says damaged. Some of these are just the greatest pictures in that Eclectica kit. Then here's another. Here's a little lammy with a bucket and a little hoe and a top hat and some wings. Just gotta love it. Here's some more bits and pieces. Lots of vintage photos in Eclectica. And again, you can write little quotes and notes on the backs of all of those. Here's some more original jelly print, another piece from Eclectica, and it's tucked behind this little sometime. And it's got a cute little ballet girl with some butterfly wings. So that is the back of this, or that is the back. That is the flip through of that journal, which is in this envelope. So we'll close this one up, this windy guy, and it's got a little Tim Holtz thing that says choose happy. And then we are to our last part of the book, which is the last signature. It is another lapbook inspired. Oh, that got bent a little. You'll have to be careful closing this up. It is the other lapbook inspired journal signature. So this one opens this way, and this is a big vintage, what is the word I'm looking for? Flashcard, geez. And in here I've just got a bunch of random pieces. This is an Edith Holden postcard. Then I've just got a piece of my polka dot index cards, and then a few of these journal cards here. And that's just kind of all stuck in here behind there. Then here I've got a little notebook, and it is actually on a magnet. So there's a magnet strip that it attaches in here with. And you can take that out and write notes in here and then attach it back on. And there is an elastic band here where you could tuck a signature or something behind, and it's actually holding one in on the other side. And here we've got a little bicycle and a little like pocket watch on the ties of that. So that closes, and then it also opens this way where that elastic is actually holding in a signature with some coffee stained scrapbook paper and places to journal. So places to attach photos or memorabilia or do art journaling, and then some journaling space next to it. And that's actually just held in here again by this, so you can slip it out if you wanted to and slip something new in there, or just slip it out to work on it and then put it back when you're done. So that flips, flip like that, right? And then this whole thing flips open. And here I've got a bunch of these are from Tracie's Alphabets kit. And they're 4 pockets layered on top of each other, and they've got tags inside of them. So each one of these has tags. There's 2 in there, there are 2 in this one, and there are 2 in this one as well. So 2 tags, lots of places. And then I've got one of these adorable little sometimes. This one's so cute. So she's hanging out on there. And then on this side, we've got a bunch of these vintage envelopes, and I found these in my garbage box from my friends. And so on top, they've got pockets that are full of some of Tracie's tea cards and some of the pieces from Eclectica. And there are some tea cards inside of this one as well. And those are spots you could keep little notes on the back of those too, little sayings. And then that flips up. Then there are a couple of pieces of tea card and some ephemera there. That flips open. And on the bottom here, another piece of ephemera and another tea card. And that flips down. And inside of each one of them is a piece of the Eclectica paper where it's turned into kind of a note card, and you can just open that up and write on it. You could stick photos in here. You could stick all kinds of stuff, whatever you wanted to, ticket stubs. So each one of these has, like so, they have little bits and places for you to do some journaling. And then they all flip back together like that. Then that whole page flips, and we've got some pockets here that I've made. And inside these pockets, these are some library cards. And inside that, there is an actual playing card, and I got these in Happy Mail. And then up here, there are a couple of vintage card catalog cards in that pocket, and then another playing card here. And then this is a flip out as well. Oh, and here's a little purse on this one. So this flips out, and this background here is my jelly prints, and these tags are from Tracie's Textured Tags, and they match this jelly print so well. They look almost like they were made for each other. It's awesome. So this is a page of a bunch of little pockets. If you're interested in seeing how I made this signature, I did do a video on this. So here are these are all pieces from Eclectica, and then there are other pieces from Eclectica tucked into them. So this one is a side loader, and it has and then I just had a little tag, and then this is a little Dear Grandpa letter. Those are all tucked in there. Then this is a tall pocket this way. So I have a piece from Eclectica, and then I had an extra piece of this green cardstock, so I folded it in half, so there's another little spot to journal. And then this is a side loading pocket right here, and I have a little bit of, I think this is from Mini Mix Ephemera probably, and then a couple of these little Tim Holtz flash cards, word flash cards, tucked into that one. Then this is also a tuck space, and this is sewn on here like this, and this is from the Foxy Rag, the last one. Then I've got a flash card, a photo of this handsome gentleman, and then another piece from Eclectica that just looks like a vintage envelope. And those are tucked in. And then this is a big pocket, and this is a page from that fishing book, and I backed it onto this bright blue and just sewed around it a bunch of times. And that goes down in this big pocket. And then that closes, and the whole thing opens up this way, and there are some of these tags from the Peculiar Peeps, and they're behind this piano roll paper there. So there are 3 of those, and then that actually opens up, and there is one more notepad back here with paper, and then this is some of that jelly print, so there's more place for some art journaling if that makes you happy. And here's the back side, which is just Mod Podged again, and there is my Maker's Mark Musings by Nikki. And there we go, guys. So this is Peculiar is the name of this. I have no idea how many pages, because there's really no way to count the pages in this. There are mini journals inside, and full, you know, like one signature journals inside, and an actual journal in there, and all the things. So I have no idea how to tell you how many pages, but you just saw there is a ton of journaling space in here, but it's, you know, creative journaling space. So you get to tuck and untuck and take out and move around and do all the fun things, and take that ephemera and turn it into other fun stuff if you want to, attach it in other places. So I really think that this was super fun to make. It would be super fun to journal in. So thank you, Tracie, for all of the fantastic kits that you have been putting out. If you don't know about it, if you haven't ever checked out the Foxy Rag, I tell you right now, definitely I would highly recommend to check it out. It's not just because I'm on our design team, but it's actually a really good value for the money that you pay for the Foxy Rag. So plus you get to just, it's inspiring to see these other journal makers see their wonderful work that they've done. So and it supports Tracie, which is also great, because then she can continue to put out great content for us. So that's it. I will end on that. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed flipping through this with me. I certainly enjoyed making it, and I hope that you have a wonderful morning or afternoon or evening or middle of the night, whatever time it is, on whatever side of this globe of ours that you live on. And until I see you next time, guys, take care and stay safe. I hope that you're able to be at peace and do something creative today. So take care, and God bless you. Bye-bye.